Do you dread the winter a little more every single year? It starts with the gray skies of November, then comes the biting wind, and finally that first heavy snowfall hits, and you're standing in your driveway, scraping ice off a windshield, wondering why you live where the air hurts your face. If you're daydreaming about 80-degree evenings, ocean breezes, and a life where you never have to own a heavy coat again, you're not alone. According to a 2025 migration study by Zillow and Pew Research, weather-related relocation has become a top 3 reason Americans are moving. After several historically harsh winters in the North and Midwest, the migration south is no longer just a trend, it's an exodus. But moving for warmth isn't just about the thermometer. It's about lifestyle, it's about the economy. And in 2025, it's about understanding the risks of extreme heat, hurricanes, and rising insurance costs. Today on Around the World, we're breaking down the definitive countdown of the 10 warmest states to live in America. We aren't just looking at numbers. We are looking at the reality of life in the heat zone. Let's find your place in the sun. Number 10, Arizona. We begin our journey in the American Southwest. Arizona is more than just a state. It's a solar powerhouse. Statistically, this is the sunniest place in the United States. In the city of Yuma, the sun shines for 90% of daylight hours. Phoenix, the state capital, clocks in roughly 300 sunny days a year. Compare that to Seattle or Pittsburgh, and it feels like living on a different planet. Arizona specializes in dry heat. Because of the low humidity, sweat evaporates instantly, cooling your body efficiently. This means a 95-degree day here feels surprisingly comfortable compared to 95 degrees in the humid south. Winters are legendary. While the rest of the country is freezing, January in southern Arizona sees daytime highs in the mid-60s to low 70s. It's a golfer's paradise and a hiker's dream. However, we have to talk about the changing reality. Arizona is on the front lines of extreme heat. In recent years, Phoenix has shattered records with streaks of consecutive days over 110 degrees. The urban heat island effect, where concrete absorbs heat during the day and radiates it at night, means overnight lows sometimes don't drop below 90 degrees in July. Living here requires a strategy. You hike at dawn, you stay inside at noon, and you respect the sun. But for those who crave light and despise the rain, the Grand Canyon State remains an unbeatable sanctuary. Number 9, California. California is massive, covering a geographic diversity that mimics entire continents. But when we talk about warm California, we're talking about the coastal and southern regions that have captivated the world's imagination for a century. This is one of the few places in North America with a true Mediterranean climate. This means wet, mild winters and dry, warm summers. In San Diego, the temperature variance is almost magical, rarely dropping below 50 in winter and rarely soaring above 85 in summer. Travel inland to the Central Valley or cities like Fresno and Bakersfield, and the heat intensifies, often breaking 100 degrees in the summer. But the coastal cities, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, San Diego, benefit from the marine layer, a natural air conditioner that rolls in off the cool Pacific Ocean. So why isn't it higher on the list? Volatility. In 2025, the California dream comes with a fire season that now extends nearly year-round. The swinging pendulum between extreme drought and atmospheric river flooding makes the climate unpredictable. Furthermore, home insurance in wildfire-prone zones has skyrocketed. California offers perhaps the most perfect weather days per year of any state, but you pay a sunshine tax to enjoy them. Number 8, Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the heat. Texas is a climatological battleground where the humidity of the south meets the desert of the west. If you move to Texas for warmth, you have distinct choices. West Texas offers the dry, high desert heat similar to Arizona. But the population centers, Dallas, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio, sit in the subtropical zone. Winters here are generally mild. In Houston and the Gulf Coast, snow is a once-in-a-generation event. January days often see residents in t-shirts enjoying lunch on patio decks. However, Texas summers are a test of endurance. From June through September, the heat dome frequently parks over the state, pushing temperatures above 100 degrees for weeks at a time. The other major factor for 2025 is the energy grid. As air conditioning demand surges with population growth, the Texas power grid has faced scrutiny. Moving here means preparing for a climate of extremes. Delightful frost-free winters paired with summers that require a functioning AC unit to survive. Number 7, Louisiana. If you prefer your heat thick, heavy, and tropical, welcome to Louisiana. While other states have seasons, Louisiana mostly alternates between warm and hot. This state consistently ranks in the top 3 for average annual temperature, sitting around 66 to 69 degrees year-round. Louisiana's defining feature is humidity. We aren't talking about simple moisture. We're talking about a dew point that wraps around you like a warm blanket. This high moisture content keeps the air warm even at night. In the depths of winter, when Chicago is below zero, New Orleans is often enjoying a balmy 65 degrees. The gardening season here is nearly 300 days long. The trade-off is severe weather. Louisiana is essentially the doormat for the Gulf of Mexico. It has the 3rd highest hurricane impact rate in the country. In 2025, flood insurance is a critical part of the budget for any resident. But for those who love the culture of the bayou, the food, the music, and the lush green landscapes that never turn brown, the heat is just part of the rhythm of life. Number 6. Hawaii. At number 6, we leave the mainland for the most isolated population center on Earth, Hawaii. If we were ranking purely by comfort, Hawaii would be number 1, undisputed. It's the definition of eternal spring. Hawaii's position in the tropics ensures that the sun is always high overhead, but the trade winds, cooling breezes from the northeast, act as nature's fan. In Honolulu, the average low in winter is 66 degrees. The average high in summer is 87 degrees. That is a fluctuation of only about 20 degrees for the entire year. You don't check the weather report in Hawaii. You just look out the window. The only reason Hawaii isn't number 1 on a warmest list is that it lacks the blistering, extreme heat of the deserts or the deep south summers. It is perfectly warm rather than extremely warm. Of course, paradise has a price tag. In 2025, the cost of living in Hawaii remains the highest in the nation. Electricity, groceries, and housing are significantly more expensive than the mainland. But for the privilege of swimming in 78-degree ocean water in the middle of February, many say it's worth every penny. Number 5. South Carolina. Returning to the mainland, we land in the Palmetto State. South Carolina has exploded in popularity, growing by nearly 2% annually in recent years, and the climate is the primary driver. South Carolina offers a subtropical climate that feels distinct from the deep south. It's slightly milder than Florida, but warmer than North Carolina. The coast is the star attraction. Places like Charleston, Hilton Head, and Myrtle Beach benefit from the Gulf Stream, a warm ocean current that keeps winter frost at bay. You might need a light jacket in January, but snow shovels are sold here mostly as novelties. Summers are sultry, with high humidity and afternoon thunderstorms that cool the air down. The state is becoming a haven for retirees who want distinct seasons, spring azaleas, fall colors, without the punishment of a northern winter. Just be aware, like its neighbors, South Carolina is prone to tropical storms, and coastal erosion is a growing topic of conversation in 2025. Number 4. North Carolina. Just north of the border lies a state that many climatologists call the Goldilocks zone of the East Coast, North Carolina. North Carolina is unique because it offers 2 distinct warm climates. To the west, you have the mountains, which stay cooler. But the Piedmont and coastal plain, home to Raleigh, Charlotte, and Wilmington, are surprisingly mild. Winter daytime highs often hover in the 50s and 60s. While North Carolina does see the occasional dusting of snow, it usually melts by noon. This state ranks high on our list not just for temperature, but for economic warmth. In 2025, North Carolina continues to be a top destination for banking, tech, and biomedicine jobs. It offers a lifestyle where you can hike a mountain and swim in the ocean in the same weekend, all while paying significantly less for housing than in the Northeast. It's the perfect compromise for those who want warmth, but aren't quite ready for the tropics. Number 3. Mississippi. We've cracked the top 3, and we're heading deep into the heart of the South. Taking the bronze medal is Mississippi. Fact check, while many lists float other states here, NOAA data confirms Mississippi consistently holds one of the top 5 average annual temperatures in the contiguous U.S. Mississippi is an atmospheric steam room, with an average annual temperature of over 63 degrees. Winter here is merely a suggestion. In the southern part of the state, near the Gulf Coast beaches of Biloxi and Gulfport, freezes are rare. The growing season lasts almost the entire year. If you hate the cold with a passion, Mississippi guarantees you won't feel a true chill for about 10 months of the year. The warmth here breeds a lush, green landscape that's beautiful to behold, but it also brings intensity. Mississippi sits in Dixie Alley, a region prone to severe spring storms and tornadoes. However, for the low cost of living and high average temperatures, Mississippi is the sleeper hit of the South. Number 2. Georgia. Runner-up for the warmest region is the Empire State of the South, Georgia. Georgia is a massive state, stretching from the foothills of the Appalachians to the swamps of the Okefenokee, but almost all of it is warm. Georgia summers are famous for a reason. The humidity wraps around the cities, and temperatures routinely stay in the 90s from May through September. But the payoff is the rest of the year. Spring in Georgia is legendary, exploding with dogwoods and azaleas in late February, while Boston is still digging out of blizzards. Fall stretches all the way to Christmas. Winters are short, generally mild and sunny. Atlanta, the economic engine of the South, has one of the highest tree canopy coverages of any major U.S. city. This natural shade helps mitigate the heat, making the city in a forest livable even during the dog days of August. If you want a booming economy paired with a climate that encourages outdoor living year-round, Georgia is hard to beat. Number 1. Florida. And finally, the undisputed king of warmth, the Sunshine State, Florida. In 2025, Florida remains the warmest state in the continental U.S., and it isn't particularly close. Geographically, Florida is an anomaly. The southern third of the state, Miami, Naples, the Keys, is technically a tropical rainforest climate. They do not have winter. They have a dry season. Average winter lows in Miami are around 60 degrees. Highs are in the 70s. In the summer, the entire state acts as a peninsula heater, with temperatures in the 90s tempered only by sea breezes. But living in the number 1 warm state comes with the number 1 climate risk. Florida is the epicenter of the U.S. home insurance crisis. With hurricanes becoming more intense and storm surges rising, the cost of insuring a home here has tripled in some areas over the last 5 years. Yet, despite the storms, the bugs, and the costs, people keep coming. Why? Because roughly 230 days a year, it's paradise. No snow tires, no heating bills, just endless summer. From the dry deserts of Arizona to the humid bayous of Louisiana and the tropical beaches of Florida, America offers a warm haven for everyone if you're willing to handle the heat. As we move further into the 2020s, choosing where to live isn't just about avoiding snow. It's about balancing comfort, cost, and climate resilience. So, we want to hear from you. Which of these heat havens would you choose? Would you take the dry heat of the West or the lush humidity of the South? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into America's climate, please hit that like button and subscribe to Around the World. We bring you the geography, the culture, and the reality of our changing planet every single week. And if you're curious about the flip side, the top states that are the coldest, check that out in the description below. You might be surprised who made that list. Thanks for watching, and stay warm out there.